Today I'm interviewing a man who keeps and breeds geckos from New Caledonia, a collective of islands east of Australia. We'll examine a number of its coolest specimens. Our host will share his advice for anyone interested getting started as a gecko keeper, and we'll even get a sneak peek at what gecko romance sounds like. Hey y'all, Koa here. I'm with my buddy Caesar today, who is a gecko keeper. And how long you been doing this?
About 5 years.
About 5 years. So he's kind enough to show me his collection. We're gonna learn some things about geckos. Shall we?
Yeah.
My first lesson, clean hands are required before handling each animal. So what do we got here?
This is a crested gecko.
A crested gecko. So how do you tell if this is a male or a female gecko?
Around the vent behind the legs, there's a hemipenal bulge, and near the vent under the gecko has a row of black pores that determine of its gender.
Yeah, I can definitely see that hemipenal bulge just before the tail begins.
That's usually developed under a year. So over here we have the female, and on the left side we have the male. The crested gecko, their tails are prehensile, yet once they drop it, they can't regrow back their tail.
So prehensile means a tail can attach to something, and when he said drop it, that means it can literally, what, drop its tail as a defensive mechanism?
Yes.
Very cool. She lost her tail, and they can't regenerate their tails, but the gargoyle gecko here, like most other geckos, is this true, can regenerate their tails?
Yes.
So it's actually rare that a gecko cannot regenerate their tail. So what do we have here?
We have a pair of gargoyle geckos.
Gargoyles.
Yeah. So over here on the sides, it looks like it's bloated. She is carrying 2 eggs that are forming. In about a couple days, she will drop eggs. Crested gecko egg. This is a mainland Chahua egg. And these are gargoyle eggs. These 2 are about to hatch this week or the next.
That's the embryo inside the egg of the gargoyle gecko.
These gargoyle eggs hatched a few days later. So what are these guys?
So these are the babies of the pair that you've just held.
Of the gargoyle geckos?
Yeah.
These are some babies?
Yep.
How old are these?
These are about a month old.
A month old, okay. So what's the appeal of raising geckos?
It's pretty much the art. It's living art, and it changes from hatchling to juvenile and to adulthood. It just keeps changing. These are mainland Chahuas.
So what are some difficulties with raising these?
So the difficulties with these is in egg production. They're not as prolific as some may think. They can have a small clutch of eggs during each season, and only a few actually survive out of the egg. But when they do survive, they're very hardy and very tough right out of the egg.
So besides the difficulty with these guys, what would you say the biggest difficulties are with raising geckos in general?
It would be the cost in housing them. It's inexpensive to keep one gecko, but with a big collection, that's when the housing and feeding costs start to add up.
So if you had any advice to someone that wanted to keep geckos for the first time, never done this, what would be some top pieces of information?
Just have an enclosure ready for misting and always have food for them to start eating as soon as possible.
Okay, so have the enclosure ready. Make sure that it's misted for misting, so it's wet. They need to drink.
Or they stay hydrated.
Hydrated, and food ready. And Caesar is trying to get these two to mate right now. So that's the male right now clucking, wanting to breed with the female.
Yes. Yeah.
This is the male's first time trying to seduce a female. His lack of experience causes the female to lose interest, and this mating session is unsuccessful. He'll need to up his game for next time. So also, I'm gonna post Caesar's Instagram down below. Comment down below on this video if you have any comments or questions about the gecko keeping here. If you want to see more or learn more about Caesar's geckos, I'm sure he'd be willing to let us film again.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you very much for bringing me in and showing me all these cool geckos.
Of course.
Oh, this dude's beautiful. It has like a V.